What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the DGD Podcast. I'm Robert Reynolds. That's Keon to my left. We made the announcement earlier on X and Instagram. To my right, the newest co-host of the DGD Podcast, Kaleb, also known as KTG. Kaleb, welcome to the DGD Podcast, sir, as a new co-host. Want to open the floor to you, man. For anybody that may not know you, what do you do and how can people follow you? Because you're about to be a staple moving forward.
So what I do is I do a Twitch stream where I'm currently doing college football. College Football 26 just dropped today for early access. So I'm very excited about that. You can find me on twitch.tv/KTG13TV. And I'm telling you, we're on a roll right now, 9-0, undefeated, been smacking everybody. Even got to smack Florida twice and Georgia Tech, which is always a good move. And, if y'all want to see some good content, some good football playing, and some good trash talk, that's where you find me, twitch.tv. It's the place to be.
For anybody that may not have, familiarity with the twitch.tv, use dgdpod.com/KTG. Get you the same place, easy to remember, same concept. But the cool thing is, here soon, Kaleb's also going to be streaming on our YouTube channel. So not only are we going to do our shows, but we will start to have college football streaming, sports streaming, whatever Kaleb desires, right? We know college football is huge here. But maybe it's just time to switch up and do some baseball or something, right? Kaleb's got, you see the baseball hat right there. There's a reason for it. So we're going to let KTG stream on our YouTube channel. So make sure you support him by showing up, liking, and subscribing to the DGD Podcast or his Twitch too, by the way. No, don't listen. Either one. But we're going to make sure you're covered either way. And make sure you show him some love when he comes on and goes live, whether it be to College Football 26 or MLB The Show, whatever his heart desires. But make sure to follow him too on X as well. You'll start to see him in our posts as well. So make sure you go give him a follow on X. We're trying to make him X famous. Either way, we move on. This episode, I'm excited for it. It is the inaugural DGD Podcast UGA Roster Draft. I saw this idea from our guys over at Dogs 24/7, Ben Wilk and those guys. And it inspired me to do something for us. We're going to throw a little twist into it. We're going to take everything here and we're going to use it for the season, shall we say. So we're going to do it now. We're going to track our rosters through the season. We're going to get a poll preseason, see who wins. After Georgia's season comes to an end, we're going to post the same poll with the same roster. Who won? That matters because next year when we do our 2026 roster draft, the winner will get first pick overall or whichever pick they choose. So it's important. Now, first things first, before we get started, there are some rules, but we also have our breakdown for the rosters. So I'll pull the rosters up. You're going to pick a running back, wide receiver, tight end, 2 offensive linemen, and a flex. No quarterbacks in this draft, but that flex could be a running back, receiver, or tight end. You have on the defensive side, you got your defensive line. You can choose a defensive line or an edge, linebacker, corner, safety, and a flex. Flex can be anything on the defensive side of the ball. What's going to be interesting is the offensive coach and the defensive coach. You cannot draft Kirby Smart. So no quarterbacks, no Kirby Smart. The rest is fair game. And so with that being said, our draft order is as such. We did a pre-randomized, I guess you could say a roll. And Keon will get to choose the first pick overall. Then it will be Kaleb, and then I will end up with the last pick of the round We are snake drafting this, so that means I will be the first pick in round 2 and so on and so forth until round 14 is over. So with that being said, the 2025 UGA Roster Draft is underway. Keon, you, sir, are on the clock.
Glenn Schumann.
Glenn Schumann taking the defensive coach, first pick overall. That means you only have an offensive coach, and then the rest are players. Kaleb, with the second pick, you, sir, are on the clock.
I'm going with Nate Frazier, man. I think he's going to have a big season.
Frazier, RB1 off the board. With my third pick, I am going Zachariah Branch. I'm going Zachariah Branch with my first round pick. And then with my second pick, I'm going KJ Bolden. Going KJ Bolden to start round 2. Kaleb, you are on the clock.
Let me get my head back on straight. I think I'm going to take Dalen Everett.
That's a really good pickup considering he's going to be the anchor in our cornerback room, in my opinion. So that's a very good pick right there. I think he's going to have a good season, by all means. Now, to end round 2, Keon, you are on the clock.
Give me Todd Hartley and Elijah Griffin.
All right, so Todd Hartley wraps up the coaches for Keon, and that also wraps up round 2. And then we are moving forward with Elijah Griffin to start round 3. Starting off hot there. Freshman, though. Good, interesting pick, though. Why'd you pick Elijah Griffin at round 3?
He's one of the young guys that I truly love on this team, that I truly think is extremely talented. So wanted to get that pick out early because I know, we're going to be going down this list here. So wanted to make sure I got those two out the way. Plus, gotta love the tight ends with Todd Hartley.
That's a good point. That's good. That's a good pick up there. Kaleb, you are next you are on the clock.
I think I'm going to also go D-line, but I'm going to take Kristen Miller. I think, the veteran leadership, I think he's going to have a monster year as well. Dude's a stud. So I'm going to go Kristen Miller.
Percy could be the head of the defense, if you will. I'm going to end up with round 3. I'm going to finish up strong in my receiver core and go Colby Young to end round 3. And for round 4, I'm kind of torn here. I'm thinking D-line, but I'm also thinking linebacker right now. Don't know what I want to do. So part of me, I think for my first pick in round 4, I'm going to go Quintavious Johnson. Quintavious Johnson. I can't wait to see him break out this season. Cannot wait.
Yeah, I like that.
He was an avatar last year when I saw him, and I was just like, what? So all right, so that's my pick. Kaleb, you are on the clock, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and take the middleman of the defense. I'm going to take Mr. C.J. Allen. Love the way he plays.
Excellent choice. Choice.
I'm a big fan. So
excellent choice. All right, Keon, you are wrapping up round 4 and starting round 5 with back-to-back picks, sir. Who are you taking in the 4th round to finish up the round?
So I'm thinking about linebackers. Are we only just picking one linebacker?
Well, you have, for your sake, you have a linebacker and then you have a flex. So you could do 2 linebackers in theory.
Give me Justin Williams and Chris Cole.
Oh, good duo right there. Good duo. He's knocking out back-to-back linebacker picks. And you said Justin Williams and Chris Cole, correct?
Absolutely.
So 3 linebackers back to back to back. Whew, brutal stuff. Caleb, you sir, on the clock.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the first O lineman off the board. I'm a Michael Morris guy. I'm gonna take Michael Morris.
Mauler. Okay. The offensive line off the board. Ooh, that is an interesting pick. All right, I'm finishing off round 5 and starting round 6. Yeah. I'm going to go Lawson Lucky. I need my tight end. And then I've got my safety, but I need a corner. But I also need other things. I got Quintavious is more of your outside linebacker / D line. So I'm going to put him so just for reference, I'm going to put him in my defensive line edge, giving me a true defensive line open. Makes it a little bit interesting, but I do think it'll be fun to watch. But I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball, and I think I want Trey Scott to coach my defense. I want Trey Scott to coach my defense. Caleb, sir, you are on the clock.
You know, I'm going to go with somebody who's being not as talked about recently, who I think is a stud, who's been loyal to the program. Give me Dylan Bell, man. He's just solid. Ooh. I love Dylan Bell.
Okay. Keon, you will finish round 6, start round 7 with your back-to-back picks.
Give me Noah Thomas.
Noah Thomas, and that's a good pick in the 6th round. That's a very value pick right there.
Yeah, let me get Noah Thomas and
to start round 7.
Give me Elias Williams.
Ooh. Okay. I see there. I think that's an interesting pick. Why Elias?
I'll explain it with my next pick.
I mean, okay.
Yeah,
I think I know where you're going with this. Should I sabotage? I'm debating this. Oh, brother. Caleb, you are on the clock round 7.
Well, y'all took all the tight ends, so I guess I'm gonna have to jump on Oscar Dale. Nothing wrong with that. He's a beast.
That is, for round 7, that is extremely nice to have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish round 7 with I think I want to do this. I want to go with Xavier McLeod. I think if he stays healthy, he will absolutely wreck everything along the defensive line this year. So that is our 7 rounds that we are halfway through. We want to take a quick break and talk about our guys over at Alumni Hall. Right? The show obviously is brought to you by our friends over at Alumni Hall, DGDpodcast.com or DGDpod.com/Alumni Hall. Check out their website. Everything you need, tailgating, apparel, polos, jerseys, you name it, they've got it, and it's all licensed. Use our website, DGDpodcast.com or DGDpod.com/Alumni Hall. Use that, and 8% of your order online will go to the Classic City Collective. If you're in Athens, though, mention us in stores and get 10% off your entire order in the store. So make sure to go give them some love on social media. Stop by, order some stuff. Season's coming. Y'all know this. Media Days is right around the corner. It means the season's coming, guys. Get yourself geared up with our friends over at Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall, thank you for sponsoring the show for so long. we jump back to the draft, and we're going to start the second half of the draft. Let's do a quick recap, though, for the first half to make sure people are aware who's been drafted. It's a refresher to make sure that all three of us are understanding who's off the board, who's still left. So, from a round one recap, Keon, you took Glenn Schumann, followed by Nate Frazier with Kaleb did. I took Zachariah Branch to end the round one. Started round two with KJ Bolden. Dalen Everett is your second pick, Kaleb. Keon, you started off Todd Hartley. Good pick, I thought. And then Elijah Griffin going some youth along the defensive line. Kaleb, you picked Kristen Miller. Percy. I picked Colby Young to end round three and started mine with Quintavious Johnson. Then the linebackers fell off the board. CJ Allen for Kaleb. Justin Williams and Chris Cole back-to-back for Keon. First offensive line, Big Nasty off the board. Micah Morris going to Kaleb. Ended up for me going Lawson Lucky, and then Trey Scott to head up my defense. Dylan Bell coming off the board for Kaleb in round 6. Then Noah Thomas finishing off round 6 for Keon, and starting off Elias Williams, getting some size on that offense. Oscar Delp going to Mr. Kaleb over there, and they're finishing up the first half, round 7. I have Xavier McLeod bolster my defensive line. So with that being said, make sure all three of us, that's who you've got. Who's available is for you to figure out. I'll keep record to make sure nobody messes up. And if we have any issues, I will confirm. With that being said, round 8 is underway, and I have the first pick in round 8. So for me, I've got KJ Bolden. Now, Kaleb took Dalen Everett, and I really like that. But I'm going Ellis Robinson. Get my corner off the board here. Get my corner off the board. Kaleb, you, sir, are on the clock.
I think I'm going to use – I have a flex spot on the offense, right?
Sounds like it, yes.
I think so. So
the question is, hold on. Are you using Dylan Bell as a running back or a receiver?
Receiver.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my flex with a fan favorite, Mr. Cash Jones, man.
That's a good pickup. That is a good pickup. So getting 2 running backs off the board there. I like it. Keon, you, sir, are on the clock with back-to-back picks.
Give me CJ Wiley.
Oh, good pick. More size. Goodness gracious.
Yep. And give me Ethan Barbour.
Ooh, buddy. You're young but big. You are getting some size there. I see what you're doing. See what you're doing there. Kaleb, you, sir, you're back on the clock.
I'm going very controversial here, but I'm going to say Bobo.
Mike Bobo or Drew Bobo?
Mike Bobo.
Mike Bobo for the offensive coach. Okay.
I know I'm going to get a lot of trash for that one, but
okay.
I think he's a good coordinator.
That's fair. I mean, hey, not knocking it. It's your pick. All right. I have back-to-back picks here. I think I want to use my flex on Gabe Harris for the defense. I think Gabe Harris is going to wreck shit on defense this year too. Him and Quintavious could honestly have a tremendous season. Tremendous season. And my next pick, I am going to have to use this, but I want to see. I need to figure out what I want to do. I've got 2 receivers, got my tight end, so I could either do a flex, offensive lineman, or running back. I want to see Chauncey Bowens have a excellent year. I think he's primed for it. Give me Chauncey Bowens. Kaleb, you are back on the clock.
I think I'm going to go with another little bit of a wild card who I think can really have a blowout season. I'm going with old Aguero, man. I've liked him since he come into the program. I think he's going to get some chances to touch the field this year, and I think he's going to make the most of his opportunity.
There you go. That's a good pickup. That's a good pickup. Keon, you have back-to-back picks.
Ooh, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. As these rounds start to finish and we start to wind down, these picks are going to become harder to come by. We are finished. Keep in mind, we are finishing round 10 with this pick. And
Give me Bo Walker and Adrian Maddox.
Hold on. That was okay. We need to talk about that because Bo Walker might be the sleeper of this. We'll save it for after. We're going to talk about this because there's going to be some people that are going to be left off and this and that, and we're going to have to talk about it. And you said Adrian Maddox is your pick, right? For the backup pick? So starting round.
Yeah.
So starting round. So is that your flex or is that your safe? That's your safety pick.
Yeah, that's my safety. We're only picking one safety, right? Or are we?
Well, you've got the flex too. So I think you did your flex for probably Cole. I think. Yeah, because you had your linebacker for Justin Williams, and then your flex is your Cole. So you're done on. You don't have a flex out, so he is your safety. Yeah. So good pick. I think those are good back-to-back picks. Kaleb, you have the next pick, sir.
I think I'm going to go with my edge.
You said your edge?
Yeah, I'm going to go with my edge. I'm going to go with JJA. Joseph
Jonah Ajonye. Good pick.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Good pick. Good pick. I've got back-to-back picks now. I've got my running back. I've got 2 receivers. I got a tight end. I need offensive linemen. Give me Monroe Freeling. I think Monroe Freeling will solidify that left tackle spot. And then I'm going back-to-back offensive line picks, and I'm going Juan Gaston. Juan Gaston for my backup, my second offensive line pick. Kaleb, you are back on the clock.
I think I'm going to go ahead and solidify my O-line too. I'm going to trust him. I know, last year was a little tough. I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go with Ernest Green.
Yeah, solid pick. I think solid pick. He should be handling the right tackle spot.
Yeah.
All right. Keon, you have back-to-back picks.
Give me Drew Bobo and Mason Short.
Oh, so the offensive line run has begun. All right. So we just ended up. So let me just slow this back down. So we have just finished 12, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. We just finished round 12. Drew Bobo wrapped that up and started round 13 with Mason Short. I think that's an interesting pick. I think Mason Short we'll see what happens there. But that's an interesting pick. Kaleb, you have the next pick, sir.
I think I'm going to go with another reach, but I think he's got a lot of potential. I'm going to go Justin Williams.
Justin Williams off the board.
Who? Oh, he is. You already took him? My bad. Good shit.
Keon did. Keon took Justin Williams.
My bad. Give me You know what? Nah, that might be cheating. I'm gonna actually go. This is another one that could be interesting. Give me Ja'Cory Thomas.
All right, Ja'Cory Thomas. Hold on. So Ja'Cory Thomas would be your
flex.
Okay, just making sure. Excuse me. All right, so I get to pick here. Man, this is tough. So I need offensive coach and I think a linebacker. I am going to take Raylan Wilson. Let me make sure here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so
What round are we in?
we just finished 13. So my last pick is coming up. And so my offensive coach is what I need to figure out. What I need to figure out my offensive coach. And Todd Hartley's taken. And Bobo is taken. So I'm kind of working on slim pickings here. Obviously. Can't choose Kirby Smart. So I think I'm going to have to go. I'm going to go Stacey Searles because I want Stacey Searles to bolster my offensive line and lead my offense. So I'm picking Stacey Searles to finish my draft. Kaleb, your last pick, sir.
Well, I got to go with the defensive coach, and y'all taking the big names. I'm gonna go T-Rob. T-Rob.
Ooh, okay. All right. Keon, send us home the last pick of the 2025 UGA Roster Draft. Mr. Irrelevant. Who is that Mr. Irrelevant going to be?
I think I got 2 picks because you went
Let's
2,
see.
right?
No, I went back to back, and that's the end. So look, round 14, I started round 14 with Stacey Searles. Kaleb has T-Rob, and so now you are ending the draft.
So I have 2 picks, right? Or is it one?
Just one. This is the last round. Here, we'll do this. I'm going to do this. So just make sure everybody listen, everybody watching for this.
Wait.
Make sure.
How many corners did y'all pick? Or did y'all each?
So I have KJ Bolden at my safety, and I have corner. I have Ellis Robinson. He has Joe Nell as his flex. He's got Adrian Maddox as his
He got Adrian Maddox.
He got Adrian Maddox. Sorry, he has Joe Nell and Ja'Cory Thomas.
Okay.
So here we'll do this for.
Okay. Give me. Oh yeah, I got it. Give me Daniel Harris.
Daniel Harris. That is the final pick of the 2025 UGA Roster Draft. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to take in order from what you're seeing on our screen. If you're listening, you cannot see this from left to right. Keon, myself, and Kaleb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up our roster, and I will break it down to everybody what everybody's picks were in that specific situation. So as we proceed to do this, so to recap, Keon, we pull the roster up. Keon's defensive coach, Glenn Schumann. Offensive coach, Todd Hartley. Defensive line, Elijah Griffin. Linebacker, Justin Williams. Defensive flex, I should say, Chris Cole. Receiver 1, Noah Thomas. Tight end, Elias Williams. Flex, CJ Wiley. Actually, Keon, your pick for Ethan Barbour would deem irrelevant at that point because that would be your tight end and the flex was taken for CJ Wiley.
So technically I do have one more pick.
Yes, because Ethan Barbour doesn't count. So we'll do this right here. So as we continue, Bo Walker is your hold on. Bo Walker is your we'll go through and we'll fix this. Bo Walker is your running back. Adrian Maddox is your safety. Drew Bobo, offensive line 1, offensive line 2. Or offensive line 2, Mason Short. Cornerback, Daniel Harris. So you, sir, are missing a defensive line edge.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you have Elijah Griffin, and that is it. So who is so this will be the replacement pick now. As somewhat of a punishment, you have to choose from everyone not picked already for defensive line or edge.
Give me Chase Linton.
Chase Linton. All right. So repeating this to make sure that everything is clear. And obviously,
Actually, wait a second.
What?
Give me Zayden Walker.
That's a linebacker. Can't do it. Got to be defensive line.
I thought I could play him at edge. Okay.
No. So do you stick him?
Yeah, Chase Linton. Yeah, I'm gonna go Chase Linton.
Okay. So to redo this, obviously, this is what the perks of doing it live. So in order, Keon, your defensive coach, and please keep up with me to make sure there's everything taken. Defensive coach, Glenn Schumann.
Yep.
Offensive coach, Todd Hartley.
Yep.
D-line 1, Elijah Griffin.
Yep.
Linebacker 1, Justin Williams.
Yep.
Defensive flex, Chris Cole.
Yep.
Wide receiver 1, Noah Thomas. Tight end, Elias Williams.
Yep.
Offensive flex, CJ Wiley.
Yep.
D-line edge, Chase Linton.
Yep.
Running back, Bo Walker.
Yep.
Safety, Adrian Maddox.
Yep.
Offensive line 1, Drew Bobo.
Yep.
Offensive line 2, Mason Short.
Yep.
Cornerback, Daniel Harris.
Yep.
That is everything that is accounted for. That is Keon's roster. We move on to mine. Robert, if you can't see, this is Robert. My first pick, wide receiver 1, I've got Zachariah Branch. Safety, KJ Bolden. And by the way, please keep in mind, help me out with this just as if we just did this with y'all's. So restart that. Zachariah Branch, wide receiver. KJ Bolden, safety. Colby Young, offensive flex. Quintavious Johnson, defensive line edge. Lawson Lucky, tight end. Trey Scott, defensive coach. Xavier McLeod, D-line. Ellis Robinson, corner. Gabe Harris, defensive flex. Chauncey Bowens, running back. Monroe Freeling, offensive line 1. Juan Gaston, offensive line 2. Rayland Wilson, linebacker. Offensive coach, Stacy Searles. All present and accounted for. And the last but not least, Caleb. Caleb, here is your roster breakdown. Nate Frazier, running back. Dalen Everett, cornerback. Kristen Miller, defensive line. CJ Allen, linebacker. Michael Morris, offensive line 1. Dylan Bell, wide receiver. Oscar Delt, tight end. Cash Jones, offensive flex. Mike Bobo, offensive coach. Jonel Aguero, safety. Joseph Jonah Ajonye, defensive line. Defensive line. I think that's defensive line edge. My apologies on that. So JJA is your D-line edge. Ernest Green, offensive line 2. Ja'Cory Thomas is your defensive flex. And Coach T-Rob is your defensive coach. All right, guys. Just listed off all of the rosters. Who are some notable names that were left off of the roster draft? Who were undrafted names that we should be paying attention to? Anybody have any thoughts?
Say it one more time. I'm so sorry.
So obviously just ran through the draft, ran through
Mhm.
each other's rosters. Who are the notable undrafted players on this roster? I'm gonna start with
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Elo Mendoza, the Army
Yes.
transfer.
Yes. And now that I think about it, wow. I'm mad at myself because I didn't. Wow.
I was gonna go with him, but I don't know.
In fact, Chase Linton came to mind, and it was wow. And you know what's crazy? Elo fuck around and end up starting.
Maybe. I mean that's why we make our picks and see who what happens throughout the season.
I think another notable that got left off, who I almost took at one point, was Jordan Hall.
That's a really good one too.
Yeah,
it's a really good one too. Do you got it? Another one that I was thinking of, Zayden Walker was another one. I think maybe get some run, but Isaiah Gibson would be another edge rusher that could have been a thing.
Oh man. Oh man.
We didn't even bring up Roderick Robinson on the offensive side of the ball at the running back spot.
No Dwight Phillips.
No Jaden Riddell.
No Thomas Blackshear.
I mean, you've got Talon Taylor you could look at possibly.
We didn't even mention the other 5-star in the wide receiver room. Oh my God.
I want to ask y'all this. What position group do you feel the most confident about?
In our draft or
in your roster, in each of our rosters, what room do y'all feel the most confident about being the best one out of all three of us? If you had to choose one.
I like my running back room.
I have the best linebackers.
I have the receivers. I have the receivers on lock.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
How would the debate be? I want to hear this. Entertain me.
Me personally. So who are yours? You said Zachariah Branch and Colby
Zachariah Branch and Colby Young.
Okay. I think
you had Noah Thomas, CJ
Wiley.
Mm-hmm. But now I'm looking at pure receivers, not tight ends included, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I feel comfortable with Lawson Lucky.
So here's the thing. The best jump balls, and I think I have higher. Their catch radius are just bigger to me, right? Like, I think Noah Thomas might honestly have the highest catch radius.
You think it'd be the pure X? What you're thinking?
Yeah, him and CJ Wiley probably have the highest catch radius on our entire roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not naming a single tight end. And then when you name a single tight end, you go Elias Williams. Like, everybody's like 6'6".
See, you can go with. Listen, I'm not knocking it. Your receiving core is fairly unproven outside of Noah Thomas.
Okay.
For me, if we're looking at pure receivers, I'm looking at Colby Young before he got suspended last season. He was the difference maker for this offense.
100%.
Obviously it's new season, so I get it. But I'm just saying, based off of proven last season, he was the guy. And now you put Zachariah Branch, which Georgia focuses on screen games. We've talked about this ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
You give me someone with that level of twitch and explosiveness and space, and if you give him good perimeter blocking, there's no look. I understand Noah Thomas will be that go down the field type guy, right? I get that, but that's also why I've got Colby Young. And if you're looking at the tight end spot, Who was the best tight end we had last season?
Okay,
Not saying the others won't be good.
Yes.
Who was the most proven?
Yeah. Okay. So, and you have Austin. You have Lucky. You have Lawson.
I have
Lucky?
Lawson Lucky at my tight end.
Yeah. Okay. So off of last year, what's the best way to prove? What's the best way to say this?
This would have been no question last season at the end of the season.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. I still think it holds true. But I do think I think something here. I need to bring this up. I think Caleb's pick with Dylan Bell is going to be a sneaky one that not a lot of people are going to be excited for some, whatever reason. But I do think he's going to be productive one way or another.
I need him at the running back spot, bro. I'm sorry. After what I've seen last year, I don't want to see him out wide catching passes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is fair. This is fair.
I understand. He's been loyal to the program. Everybody y'all named were transfers. So
I'll tell you
I went with the loyalty.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So that's absolutely fair.
Y'all got to realize. I know he's from Texas. Y'all got to realize I'm the Georgia guy. I'm from Georgia, so it runs deep in the bloods down here. So I like the loyalty. That's why I went Dylan Bell.
No, and I get that. For me, Elias Williams to me was just. I'm going size, right? I'm looking at my lineup offensively like they are lining up. And if you're telling me I'm running a shotgun set with Bo Walker next to whatever quarterback, you name him, it doesn't matter. And I got Noah Thomas, CJ Wiley, and Elias Williams out there. I know two things for certain. Once these guys pass that first down marker, just throw the football at their forehead.
I think you're on that. Let's do this. What position? Which pick? Because if there is a group of multiple, right, you can do this. But if you had to choose one pick, would you do a redo? And if so, who would it be? Or
Yes.
do you feel confident with what you've put on the table in regards to your roster?
I feel very confident in what I put on the table.
You wouldn't do any redos. You would no redos. No picks over. You would not pick anybody else. You wouldn't do Isaiah Gibson or Elo Mendoza over Chase Linton.
Yeah, I would.
You would do so. You would have. So there would be a redo if you could.
Yeah, it would be one
fair.
pick, and it would be
That's fair. That's fair.
It'd be my edge.
That's fair. I think if I would have had something, if I had to choose something, I would have went offensive earlier. I feel like defensive, you could have went a multitude of ways. I went with Trey Scott because I love what he does on the defensive line. But it would not be surprising to look at what you could do with Coach Uzo Deribe too.
That's fair.
So compared that to, you have Bobo, you've got Hartley, you had Coley, Searles, right, and Crawford, without Kirby Smart there. So, if I would have, I could have looked into that and picked something earlier on the offensive coach side of the ball. But other than that, I feel confident across the board with what I've got. I think potentially be a dominant roster. For me, pairing Xavier McLeod with Quintavious Johnson and Gabe Harris, I'm confident. And then KJ Bolden and Ellis Robinson, I'm fine. I feel confident. I think, I'll add this too. Offensive line, I probably could have went with a more proven person. Right, I could have went for O-line too. Right, Juan Gasson. I could have went somebody else. Could have maybe went Daniel Calhoun. Really expected to start like that. Could have picked Bobo earlier. I think Drew Bobo is going to be underrated, and I think people will see his effort and see him hold down that center spot this year. So yeah, I mean that might be my things. Caleb, you got anything? Any redos you've done?
I think really I ought to change my strategy. I think I have the weakest team of the three, but I was kind of picking like I recruit on NCAA. So I went running back first, then I went D line, O line, linebacker. I wish I'd have got a little more of the explosive guys like y'all got, but my team, I mean, you put my team out there and they're gonna fight, that's for sure. They're gonna be tough. So
So we're gonna keep in mind we're gonna put these rosters to the test. We're gonna let the folks decide on the polls tomorrow. So if you're listening or watching it whenever, make sure to go to the DGD podcast and enter the poll. Let us know because this will matter. There is an effect there. So whoever wins that at the end of the season, we'll compare preseason to end of the season. See if there were any trends there. But these polls will matter because we'll do this next year, and that's going to matter. So please make sure you're going to our website, or not website, but go to Twitter, enter the poll, share it, let everybody pick, go from there, right? Excuse me. But let's continue slightly for a little bit longer. Like I know we talked about, like Elo being somebody that was left off. I think another one that I was curious about, but the name to me sticks to me. But I think when I looked at my strategy, I needed somebody that was going to put up more impact. What I felt. So, like for part of me, if I would have waited till later, depending on how the draft would have played out, I would have chosen a guy like a Nnamdi Ogboko. But the thing about it would be is I feel like he could be a little bit too situational and wouldn't have put up the impact that you needed. Did anybody feel that way with some of their picks when they made them?
No, I'm not gonna lie.
You thought a lot of potential. Your shit was potential. A lot of guys, you freshmen and impact players who were expecting to be impact players.
Yeah, I'm not, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Any one of the players I picked could end up being a starter for us to begin the season, and I would have no qualms about it.
Well, I mean, I think you're right. Like you look at your linebackers for say, right? Justin Williams, Chris Cole. Like in my opinion, that's the best duo of linebackers we've got.
No, that's a fact.
CJ Allen and Raylan Wilson will be in front of them, but I do think it's going to be impossible to get those guys off the field. They're going to play, and they're going to take reps. So you could see a balance. You could see rotation, depending on how it goes. But then we didn't even talk about Chris Jones, the one that could have accounted for an edge, because I've heard that he has been moving positions slightly too, from a linebacker to an outside linebacker down to edge. So how about this? We'll end the show off with an honorable mention. It's not going to go in. It's not going to go on the roster. But if you had an honorable mention pick, a quote unquote round 15, if you will, Keon, who would you choose in the 15th round? Your one pick, honorable mention. Any position, not quarterback, not Kirby Smart.
Honestly, it'd be Elo. I mean, to be all the way real, I mean, when you look at this guy and what he was able to do, I believe at Army. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, first and foremost, shout outs to our armed forces. I know, Rob, you being a Air Force veteran, shout outs to y'all. But hey, man, this dude, he's a monster. I mean, you're talking about a guy who already has Azeez Ojulari measurables, but with longer arms. Mm-hmm. And we all remember how much of a game wrecker Azeez Ojulari was for us. So, yeah, give me Elo.
Just not a bad pickup. Caleb, you would have been the second pick in a 15 fantasy round there. Who would you have chose for your honorable mention?
I was thinking, and we don't know what he's going to do, but nobody mentioned the other branch either, Zion. So I might have picked up Zion and see. I honestly maybe could have taken him over Ja'Cory. I just like Ja'Cory's athleticism, but
yeah, I think I would have been torn because there's a couple names that I'm thinking about right now that I would have picked, and I'll give you the first name, Isaiah Gibson. I think Isaiah Gibson is going to be a freak. But if I really wanted to be a problem on the offensive side of the ball with Lawson Lucky, Zach Branch, and Colby Young, give me a slot guy like London Humphreys.
Okay.
That's who I was about to take.
I was wondering if anybody was going to say that name, but I don't think I could have went wrong at that point, and I either picked Gibson or London Humphreys. But for me, I wanted to round out the offense with weapons across the board. Considering I thought I love what Xavier McLeod does, and I love Quintavious Johnson and Gabe Harris. I feel confident along the D line, period. If anything, I should have looked at a linebacker spot like a Zayden Walker, but I just don't know if he's going to be ready to do that. And so maybe you see a guy like a Terrell Foster that's a walk-on that could play some meaningful snaps, by the way. You could see that. But yeah, I thought that'd be interesting to see just what we would have done if there was a 15th round. I thought that's an interesting little kick to it.
If it was the actual 15th round, I would have taken Humphreys, but
I could imagine that. I could see why too. I mean,
yeah,
I can see why, because that would have easily bumped. Well, I wouldn't say bump, but it would have solidified the Dylan Bell pick to allow him to be versatile and massive flex. Yeah, and I think the Elo pick would have been good because you would allow Linton to be a flex and let Elo be your edge. Potentially. Maybe that's just my analysis there. Anyways, that is all we have for the night. Listen, it's been a long night. Been a long day. You know, Kaleb was streaming earlier today. 2020 College Football 26 came out early release. I know all three of us are good to go. And I think that's what we're going to let people do, right? We're going to let people go and enjoy their time and stay up late and play the game early release because Keon, I know you paid to play early.
Brother, listen, let me tell you something, right? I'm gonna just give y'all a quick lay down of the law here over here on my side, right? At my University of Georgia, let me tell you something. We will not be outbid by anybody. Okay. We are going for 5-star long snappers. Okay. 5-star punters. Okay. You name it. We got it. And Chick-fil-A and Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola. All of it.
You can take your pick.
I'm trying to tell you, we got all of Peachtree right behind us, baby. This is going.
No Lambos needed here, huh?
No Lambos needed. All we got is Chick-fil-A open on Sundays. Come shop. Okay. Okay. This is it. We shot calling or not at all on this trail. And I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll tell you, Keon, if you're feeling a little froggy, why don't you come on over to the stream and let me beat you by about 80?
Oh, that wouldn't happen in your lifetime or my dog's.
Oh, I beat you. I 21 you for sure.
No, not at all.
Oh, for sure. I promise.
No, not at all. Oh no, we'll definitely have a challenge as it goes on.
Sure.
Now, one thing I'm excited about for College Football 26, and I don't know if anybody's really talked about it, but the Battle of the Mascots, man. Battle of the Mascots. It sounds crazy, but I used to love it as a kid, and I still do. So
it's so fun to watch.
They put the mascot back on there?
I think they did. I'm not.
They may have. You know me. I stepped right in online play. I was ready to knock heads.
Dude, let me tell you something. I'm also trying to build. What are we doing? What's up, Evan? I'm also trying to build my ultimate team as well. So really excited about that. I'm trying to get me like a 97 Brock Bowers here in about 10 minutes.
How do you do it? How do you do that? Like, I've never really understood the whole ultimate team thing, to be honest.
Well, buddy, if you can play right now, you have an early access package that you qualify for, and all you have to do is select the school of which you want to get it. Now, granted, it's a shuffle of cards. It could be a 98 Brock Bowers. It could be a 98 Roquan Smith. It could be a 98 Nick Chubb.
I might need you to help me out with that because I did the I looked at the Ultimate Team packs, and like the packs didn't give me anything Georgia except for like Juan Gaston and like London Humphreys. That's it. I have to look back. I have to look back on it.
Yeah,
So
we'll
we'll do that offline.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for those reading the comments, I would say for anything, watch out for the month of July because we're not done yet. We're gonna be acting up all July. What?
Boom.
Oh, by the way, next episode, all recruiting. So get yourself
get ready
for that.
Yeah.
Get ready for that.
Yeah.
Listen, the reason why we're doing this when we could have done recruiting, I wanted to make this very fun and engaging for our new co-host. This is the introductory, right? Which was fun because we get to bring this into an annual thing. Buddy, next week is the grind.
Yeah.
The fucking grind is what it is. But he grinds anyway because he streams college football and stuff. He gets it. That's why he's here.
He's going to be awake for the next 3 hours. I already know. I can just tell it on his face. Like he's like, I'm there. I'm not even thinking about sleeping.
Oh, recruiting is fun, Evan. Recruiting is fun. You know how we
Got to
do
get
it.
in that top 100, man. That's my goal.
Listen,
There you go.
guess who's not going to be up in 3 hours? This guy.
This guy.
Got two thumbs too.
Damn.
Buddy got work in the morning.
Right.
We'll see. That kind of is his work, possibly. So maybe he's just lucky like that, you know.
Right.
Either way, though. But yeah, no, Evan, I tune in next Monday. We should be popping off some recruiting because there is a metric fuck ton to talk about. A lot. And listen, the best part about it is what we've got so far, we ain't done yet. So by that time, we're gonna have to add to what we already did.
Right.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. But anyways, Caleb, you're streaming tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, I am. I'll be live from 3 Eastern to 5 Eastern. Well, maybe longer, and then I'll be back on 9 Eastern till.
All right. So if you're listening or watching, make sure to go over to Caleb's Twitch, or I think you should be able to be streaming on our YouTube channel as well. So either one is going to support him because he'll be able to see both. But his Twitch, you can use this URL, dgdpod.com/KTG, or where you're seeing this right now. Ring the bell to get notified because when he goes live, you'll get the notification that he's live. And you can just watch him play college football all day long and shit talk Gator fans all day long and have fun because he's a dog fan just like we are. Simple enough. Basic math.
Amen.
Yes, sir. With that being said, we're going to wrap this up, right? Like the Dave Chappelle skit, wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to send y'all off for the night or morning whenever you listen to this. These guys are probably going to go play some PlayStation or Xbox. Let's just be honest. It is what it is. I'm going to go to bed. With that being said, have a great rest of your morning, evening, or night. We will catch y'all next time. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.